Hi, everyone, and welcome to day 25. Today's topic is relationships, and this fits really good into the daily grind, whether you're single or have a spouse or have a loved one, partner, it still fits. So I think if you're working towards specific goals, having a partner or individual who is not on the same page as you can feel like you're having one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas. Especially when the person you love the most or you love dearly is not expressing support, or not necessarily like support, but they're not expressing, they're expressing maybe doubt, and maybe they don't understand the whole process of what you're working towards. I think that's a relationship thing, be it with a spouse, be it with a parental figure, be it with a really good friend, be it whoever it is with. It has some type of or a person who has some type of influence over you. I think it's really important that the relationship is healthy in a way that is conducive to them supporting you. And I think there's a process in getting them to the point where they support you and what you're working towards and the decisions you're making in your life and why you're making those decisions. To me, that's how it fits into this daily grind, this 31 days of getting your ish done and together format. And if you're looking for tips on how to properly accomplish support or something like that, I think we need to refocus and just look at one common thing, is when we start to see change, when you start to create change in your life, whether that's getting healthier or going after a big goal that you have. A lot of the times, if you've been in a different place in your life where you haven't seen change yet, people aren't going to like it. Like friends, family, spouse, whatever that case may be for you. And that can literally be in any department of your life. Yeah, it's a scary thought that your spouse or a loved one or someone who you love and respect a lot is outgrowing you. I think oftentimes when we outgrow an individual, we sort of gush about the ways in which we are growing. Like when you come back from a seminar and you're like, I learned this today, and tell them all the things, or even something like this. Like I'm doing these 31-day videos, the daily grind, and these are the things I'm learning about, and it's so amazing, and blah, 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 blah. And this person that you're telling to who has influence over you, or who you love, or your spouse, or a parental figure, or a friend, family, etc., is just kind of, feeling left out, like you're kind of leaving them behind. So I guess the next step is, how would you remedy that? So just simply include your spouse or that significant other or that person who you love and respect in your journey. And what you do when they don't want to be included is, like, I guess kind of think of it like a sales job. Sometimes you're on your own personal growth journey before your loved one is. Like, for example, maybe you're listening to personal development and growth, like Tony Robbins, reading growth books, etc. And maybe they're still in the, video game mode. I don't know. But I think a spousal duty is to push your spouse to step up and grow alongside you. And for every bit, it's like a sales job. This is the stuff I'm working on so I can accomplish these goals. And it starts with communication, and it leads into, these are the reasons why I think you should be part of it too. Your loved one may not necessarily be put off by it, but they may have some questions. And just like the primal instinct, they just want to protect you and make sure that the other person doesn't get hurt. So if your spouse's guard is up, or that significant other, they just want to make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of and doing anything that's going to hurt you. And even a workout, that could be it too, So when I started my workouts, my loved ones wanted to see what I was doing. And I think the one thing that sold them on it was I never complained. I was just happy. It's so simple. And I think your spouse or loved one just wants to see you happy. I think sales is such an interesting thing because, especially with your spouse, because you see them day in and day out. So if you're selling them on a concept that you're working out and it makes you happy, but yet you're working out and always complaining, then you're not sticking with it. That's kind of a different story. If you're selling them on the idea that you're building a side business because you want to take trips, more trips, or you want to support your family or build that house, but you're not working on your business, then there's no trickery there. Your words and your actions need to align. But they will latch onto your words for some time. As long as those actions align onto those words, then they're there for you. But the thing about a spouse or partner or even a loved one is that you are under a microscope all the time because you can't escape from it. When you come home, your spouse is there and they're like, what are you doing? Or how was your day? For example, sometimes it can be a trigger if your spouse comes home at 5 and they ask how your day was and what did you do, and you got nothing accomplished and you don't freaking know. Like, you just look back on your day and you're like, I don't know what I did. It could be a trigger for some people. But when you put your words into action, you can be like, here, look, this is what I did today, when they come home and say that. If you feel like you've wasted your day and you're at a state in your life where you feel lost, I have a lot of empathy for you, because it definitely sucks. But one thing that matters, and if you're looking for, I don't know, buying in from your spouse, loved ones, or whatever, really stick with it. Be consistent. Don't let up and don't complain about what you're doing. Just enjoy the ride. Going back to the primal feeling as a man trying to protect a woman, and if you're working out every time and every day, and the only thing your spouse hears is like, oh, my legs are so sore, my arms hurt, my wrists are achy, and at some point, your spouse is probably going to look at you and say, hey, can you just stop that, or go do something different? But on the flip side, if you're going to your spouse and you're feeling awesome and you're acting like you're feeling awesome, then it's a different story. And include your spouse and the whole family in the change. So to conclude for today's video, here are 3 takeaways I want you to remember. Number 1, communicate what you're working towards with your spouse and treat it like a sales job. If you really want to come along, and it doesn't need to be in a negative way, if you're treating it like a sales job, you pitch something every day, all day long. If you're a parent, you pitch, dinner is ready and it's really good, come to the table kind of thing, and you're going to be eating soon. You do it all day long, it's fine. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Some people perceive sales to be a negative thing, but I don't think it has to be like that. The first step is communication, and if at the very least you can't sell them on the concept of following along with you, at least you can sell them on the concept of staying out of your way, not expressing doubt and boosting you up, if you will. Number 2, that your words and actions align. Be consistent with yourself and follow through on your word. Especially, that's just out of pure respect for you, right? Hopefully your spouse supports you in the way of believing in you and what you're doing and allowing you to pursue your goal and that just comes with respect. I was going to follow through on the ish that I said I was going to do, and that's how you respect them back. You follow through. Number 3, involve your spouse or loved one in some capacity. If they can't be fully invested in the process, talk to them about your goals. Ask for their feedback about how you can go about it. But that's the one thing, early on in my business, I would talk to my friends and family, loved ones for feedback, and they would still have thoughts. It's not like a category where they would know nothing about. They still have thoughts, opinions, and advice that I like to hear about, and maybe even see a different perspective I never thought before. There's always a way to involve your significant other. You just have to kind of figure it out and find a way to include them. There it is, my advice for another day. I hope you enjoyed today's relationships chat, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.